Good afternoon on the Empty Skull Ranch. Here we are again. A fine afternoon here on the ranch. It's actually quite warm out. I'm liking it. I'm liking that aspect of this day. Punxsutawney Phil there did the voodoo that he do so well and said that we're going to get an early spring. So I'm going to hold that little critter to it. So anyhow, on with the topic matter at hand. Well, we all remember this guy right here who was in a watery grave, frozen to the driveway, well, to the side field here where it meets the driveway. And I was kind of analyzing all of its pitfalls, i.e. the big rotten middle part, which, as you can see, and yeah, so that's kind of had me doing one of them old noodle scratchers where I was saying rust-free beds go for $2,200 on average, and that's true. That still is true. 70s beds to fit our little critter there is they go for considerably more. So I did a lot of soul searching, and I figured, I've had a lot of feedback on this particular truck, and I am definitely going forward with keeping her alive. Well, that's a given. I'm definitely going to keep her alive. But so moving forward with it, I was looking at the cab supports, and we'll take another look at that, and they're actually quite solid. I peeled back some of the jute on the floor and found that whereas, the floor is pretty punky on it, but it's really not that bad. I mean, I know, bear with me. It's really not that bad. The fact that that bed is so haggard really puts a damper on the whole visual plane of the truck itself. So anyway, without further ado, I figured this guy is not worthy to go on that truck. So I went the extra distance and I got us a rust-free bed. So let's come take a look at it. Let's see what we have here. I drove all the way about 3.5 hours yesterday to go grab this thing, but look at this bed. That is about as rust-free as you can get. That is even, check this out right here. That right there, where the fuel filler goes, let's see if I can sneak in there. Toodaloo, hey. So that part right there gathers so much rot on these beds where the water sits in there and then rusts right out in there. That is completely, you can see the seam, it's crisp. If you look across this whole bed, the floor of this, the wheel tubs, look at how good these wheel tubs are. I mean, this thing is pristine. These stringers, all the threaded inserts, all in there. These things are solid as a rock. This paint still clings to it. I know there's a bit of bowing in the floorboard, but small potatoes when you consider the fact that this bed is solid. I mean, look under that. I have to take that little stud out of there, but that's there. But look at the condition of this bed. This is astounding. So, you might ask, project on a budget here. This bed should have shot this budget right out of the water. It actually didn't. I was able to pick this bed up for $200. $200 because if you look at the outside, it was a southern bed, but it was a woods truck that this was on. So if you look at the sides, there's a considerable amount of dents, and look over here, considerable amount of dents. But I can't get over these wheel tubs. Look at that. Totally rot free. I cannot get over that whole little outcrop where, look at that. This thing is amazing. But once again, here we go. This side of the box pushed in, and that. So you might ask, well, was it really worth the $200? And plainly, unequivocally, yes. Unequivocally, yes, unanimously. Now I really can't talk. Unanimously, yes, it was worth it because I decided to go back to the drawing board on the entire way that this whole project's getting done. The skin on this bed being in the condition it's in does not matter at all. So I have gone ahead and I've ordered a second bed skin because over here I have that guy, the 1970s style with the correct filler cap that the truck currently has, and the seam for the tail light housings. So I had already ordered this, don't mind the chicken tractor in the background there, but I had ordered this and kind of let it sit out here while I mulled over my options. So I decided on the drive back, had a lot of time to think about it, that what I'm going to do is I am waiting for that other skin to come in, and I'm going to drill out all of these spot welds all around on the bed rails themselves on the other side. Put this up on a sawhorse because this middle portion is absolutely savable. So I am going to take those skins, put them on the outside of this, spot weld them back in, and discard these dented up sides. And also remove the portions from this bed that can be addressed once this comes out. But as you can see, this one's savable. Might have to do some tapping, but might not be perfect, but these are absolutely savable, these bed caps. And this other side is a little questionable. Not so much at the top, but down here, as you can see right there. But that other bed that I have has those bottom caps are actually perfect on it. No rust, they're perfect. So, and that little cross stringer too, not the stringer, but the little lashing that goes from the fender skirt to the box, I also have both of those in existence on that bad bed. So with a little bit of this and a little bit of that from both of these beds, I should be able to salvage these, knock out all the spot welds in there, and spot weld that to those bed skins on the outside, and then successfully transplant those onto that box, therefore making a rust-free example of a 1970s bed, so I don't have to sacrifice the body lines and put an 80s bed onto this truck, which I really didn't want to put an 80s bed on this truck because it wouldn't have matched the cab. But after looking around and really looking, I wasn't able to find a 70s bed anywhere near our price range. That wasn't a 6.5 foot also, but when you do finally find a 70s 8-footer, they want an arm and a leg in your firstborn for it. So anyhow, that is my plan, to transplant those skins, make that into a rust-free box, yank this one off, put that one in its place, and I'll show you what I came across inside the cab. After removing, I know it looks pretty bad right here, but after removing the jute, it was keeping all this damp, so as you see, it sat there and ate for a while. But exposed what was wrong with this side, which these right here, the rockers, are actually pretty decent. They're all basically intact. Maybe need a little bit of patching and a little bit of this and that here and there, but for the most part, this side is really good. And I have these floor pans as well as this part. So those body mounts though that lie underneath here are still quite solid. You get a little glimpse of them in there. And on that side, the same thing. That's a piece of sheet metal that the previous owner had put in there, but I'm going to try to save on this as much as I can on this cover. Save on it as much as I can. I know I'm probably going to come across some pitfalls doing so. And as for right here, keeping true to my word, when I first got this truck and I first showed it to you guys, I have sourced an NP435. I know I had mentioned NV4500s and all that, but these are a little bit user-friendly as far as budget goes. So I found one of these guys, did another couple-hour drive to go get it. NP203 transfer case. See it, but NP203 transfer case. Same exact one that resides in the truck right now, full-time all-wheel drive, which I know we've talked about that too, but as far as this transmission goes, moves freely. Everything, somebody had cut the stick off, which is damn shame. So I'll probably have to get another stick for that. Unless I get really MacGyver-ish and I pop this out of there, take the finger out of there, weld a rod to it, and put my skull shifter, which is good for the empty skull. Shifting gears, empty skull wrench. Yes, skull shifter is a must. Yes, that will be on there. This was on my 77 K30. Yep. I managed to keep that guy when I got rid of it, which I never should have gotten rid of it. Anyhow, that's going to be on this truck as well. So, there it is. That is going to go into the Dodge, where it belongs. Down the road, then I will address the NP203 transfer case with something a little bit better. So, anyhow, that was my update on it. Figured I know not much has happened with it since you last saw it, but been kind of busy in other arenas out here. As you see, lighting is underway in here, and also put in this guy, which I still got to run the supply lines out here, but I have this anchored, wired, run all the way to the box, tied into the box, waiting for the supply lines to get put in, so that way it can move forward and basically give it hell. And so all that remains is fill up that hydraulic reservoir and hit start. So that's been kind of eating my time. Now I got to get lights on this side of the building, but I did manage to put some flags up in the meantime and give it a little bit of a homey vibe in here. And of course, you know, what garage would be complete without some of the regalia. So anyhow, I'm gonna continue working on the building, and when I'm ready to cut into the into this project, we'll reconvene. Just busy. I'm but one guy, I know. In the meantime, though, there is more stuff coming your way. I got something coming in through our friends at Classic Firearms. Should be any day now. Well, this week or next week. Showing up at our other friends at Monadnock Firearms to go pick up. But it's a new arrival on the ranch. Maybe Another one of my budget finds for you guys, but let's see how it goes and see how you guys like it. But that's going to be an unboxing video coming up soon. And I got a couple of other videos I got in mind too. So anyway, been trying to get the stuff set for this guy, so when fair weather comes in, we can be rolling around in this old girl and finishing up that door and all this other, and that and this and that and this and all the other things that have yet to get done. Anyway, so see you guys next time on The Empty Skull. Yeah.